it's Kimberly, and today I am going to tell you why you should read the Symposium by Plato. So, as many of you know, Plato is an ancient Greek philosopher that you have probably heard of and maybe not read. Yet. So, I went to the University of Chicago, and it's kind of notorious for studying things like this, so that it's kind of impossible to get through 4 years there without having read Plato. And while I did read stuff like 90 pages of Aristotle for an introductory biology class, I ended up getting through 4 years at the University of Chicago without having read Plato, which is actually kind of horrible and shocking and embarrassing. But I have remedied that. This is my copy of the Barnes & Noble Otherbound Classics of Plato. This has the Republic and several of his dialogues, including Symposium, Phaedrus, Euthyphro, Apology, Crito, Phaedo, etc. So I read the Symposium. So Plato writes in a lot of dialogues, and with these he basically has sort of a figures that he knows or who are prominent around Greek society at the time, who are discussing various things, and throughout these dialogues, that is how Plato explores these philosophical ideas that he's talking about. So, to be clear, the actual people aren't saying these things, but Plato has written a thing in which these people have said these things, but Plato has written it for them, if that makes sense. So, he has people like Aristophanes. So basically, in the Symposium, Plato is tackling the subject of what is love. The Symposium is basically like a get-together of people who are talking about their ideas of what this is, right? But we aren't there. We get this fourth-hand information. So our unnamed narrator heard it from Apollodorus, who heard it from someone else who was actually there. So, first of all, we're hearing it that way. Basically, this happened in the past, so we're hearing many years later about the story of what was discussed on this night. And before you think, oh, Plato, he's one of those old Greek guys, right? Isn't he one of those stuffy philosophers? That sounds really intimidating, or whatever. No. Let me just tell you how this starts off, how this get-together starts off. Hey man, where's Socrates? He's over at the neighbor's porch. He got stuck there thinking about stuff. He'll show up eventually. Shall we do some hard drinking today? Nah, man, I got totally wasted last night. I'm so hungover. Ugh, me too. Guess we partied a bit too hard. What should we do instead? Hey, I have an idea. Let's talk about what we each think about what is love, and give a speech in praise of love. And that is how this starts off. And then each of them, Socrates eventually shows up, and each of the people at this gathering takes turns giving a speech in praise of love and discussing what is love, their opinion of what is love. And these opinions don't always agree, but they're kind of doing Socratic dialogue to try to get to the root of the issue, what is love. However, it's not just dry philosophical stuff. We're interrupted by Aristophanes, who says he's going to have to trade turns with someone else because he has a nasty case of the hiccups, and he asks Eryximachus, the physician, hey, how do I get rid of these hiccups? They are so darn annoying. And then Eryximachus says, well, you could try holding your breath, or I've heard maybe sometimes sneezing at the same time might help. And so it basically goes on like that. And in the end, after Socrates has spoken, and Socrates says a lot about what his teacher Diotima had taught him about what is love, then at the end, Alcibiades stumbles in drunk, late, and he is totally wasted, and he gives an entire speech about how he's totally in love with Socrates, but Socrates won't love him back, because Socrates only cares about philosophy and wisdom and not about any physical relationship, and that, Socrates is always leading on young, attractive men who then they think that they're gonna be Socrates' lover, but then Socrates, no, he blows him off because he just wants to sit there and philosophize, and oh, Socrates is the best person ever, and I'm so in love with him, but he totally friend-zoned me again, etc., etc., and it all devolves into a drunken partying session when a bunch of drunken revelers crash the party, and that is basically how it ends. So, this is not some dry, stuffy, philosophical debate whatsoever. And it was my first Plato that I read, and I found it very entertaining and very interesting. And it's really an important work because it gives us a great insight into Greek societal and cultural thoughts of what love is, and also just simply cultural practices of day-to-day social interactions, which we see among these men that Plato has written in this gathering. So it was quite entertaining, and in the spirit of Valentine's Day, may I suggest you read this wonderful little dialogue by Plato about what is love. I actually listened to part of this on audiobook. I have this app which is for free audiobooks through public source LibriVox recordings, and I know that if you know of these LibriVox recordings, they do have a LibriVox recording for the Symposium. The Symposium is quite short, it's only about 70 pages, so it's very easy to get through, and quite entertaining, and if you haven't read any Plato, I would highly suggest you check this out. So, if you have read this, let me know, and if you're interested in reading it, you can let me know as well. If you have any suggestions for me, you can comment down below, and I will see you guys later. Have a happy Valentine's Day!